Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Dave Putnam, who's the Executive Director of the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut. Sir.
Hey, thanks for having me on again. Appreciate
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Good. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been probably a year and a half since I've visited you and the Pete Mezzetti Show, so thank you for having me back.
Thanks for coming back.
No problem.
So tell us a little bit about the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut and what exactly you guys do.
Sure. So we provide recreational and educational opportunities for kids with disabilities throughout our whole region of Southeastern Connecticut. So we started in 2017 with some fundraising efforts, and we were able to build a fully accessible, handicapped accessible athletic field, and we've started programming, and we're doing a lot of good stuff now for Southeastern Connecticut. So we're excited about that, and always excited to come talk to you and your audience about what we're doing and things moving forward. So
well, what do we got coming up?
So we, with our facilities, we are, we built the athletic field, and that was great. That was phase one. Phase two includes a bathroom, restroom facility that'll be completely handicapped accessible as well.
Okay, cool.
And then our next phase is a fully accessible playground, playscape area at the same site. So people or families and kids with disabilities can come, hopefully when we're all done with this, can come to our facility, which is located at Flanders Elementary School in East Lyme. And participate in a number of activities, whether it's our baseball program, our soccer program, where they want to come and take advantage of the handicapped accessible basketball court that is there, or a playground, or whatever that we provide our families and our athletes and participants a place to come and play. And that's the whole thing, give these kids with disabilities an opportunity to play with where they might not necessarily get that same opportunity in their local community.
Now, how did the idea of the Miracle League come about?
That's a good question. So,
I like that, huh?
Yeah, back in 2017, when I noticed we started a program called I Can Bike.
Yes.
And at the time, I was also the Park and Recreation Director for the town of East Lyme, since retired. But at the time, I had a friend that was also the Park and Rec Director in West Hartford. His name is Jim Capides. Jim came to me and wanted to do this program that they did in West Hartford. He was retired and he wanted to volunteer to do it. I said, absolutely, let's give it a shot. And it was such a success seeing these kids and families participate and play, learn a lifelong skill that a lot of us take for advantage. And so we partnered also with the Miracle League of Connecticut for that, which is our sister, our parent organization. And they at the time had some monies set aside to help other areas build a Miracle League field. And it's fully accessible. We got wide dugouts. There's no barriers for any of the kids or anything. So they started us with some seed money, and we started with a board of directors, and we had committed to raising all the monies without any taxpayer money. So everything that we've raised to date, almost $1 million, we're probably $800,000 something plus dollars to date, has all been done privately. We haven't gone for any taxpayer monies. So
well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's definitely a good thing. So how close do you guys work with the Miracle League of Connecticut?
So like I mentioned, they're our parent organization. I serve on their board of directors, and then there's two representatives from their board that serves on our board of directors. So there's a lot of communication between the two. We do a number of cooperative programs. I mentioned we did the I Can Bike program. We do some family days coming up. So we have a family day at the Hartford Yard Goats game coming up that we kind of promote, and then we do a summer family day at Harkness Park down in Waterford, which is totally accessible for kids with disabilities as well. So we do those types of things, and then they've been our sounding board. So if we have an event or something that we want to try, maybe they've already been through it, and we can kind of pick Mike Michaud is the executive director up there, and Rich McCarthy's the president of their board, and those two individuals serve on our board as well. So there's a lot of great information that flows from them to us, and then us to them as well. So it's a really great relationship. And with that, also, there's another, Miracle League that has started, the Miracle League of Northern Connecticut.
Oh, really?
They're going to build the third Miracle League field in Vernon. So when that's done, we'll have 3 in the state that are Miracle League fully accessible athletic fields for Vernon. There's the West Hartford one is with the Miracle League of Connecticut, and then our field, which is in East Lyme.
Yeah.
So,
And that tells the new Miracle League field. Tell us what's that organization about?
yeah, so the Miracle League of Northern Connecticut
Yeah.
is set up very similar to us.
Okay.
Miracle League Connecticut, same thing. Started them out with some seed money
Yeah.
and some things to move forward, and they're going to build the same exact field that we built.
All right.
So when we went to go build our field, we went to a number of different communities throughout the Northeast.
Yes.
And so I visited Rochester, New York has a beautiful field, and Albany, New York, and just outside Boston has a field, and the West Hartford field. So we went and we looked at these fields and kind of wanted to incorporate the best of what they all had.
Right.
So our field is designed basically for baseball, but it also, we put in an area where we can do soccer and we can do lacrosse, and we do dance out there. We do a trick-or-treating event there.
Yes.
So it's a multi-use field. It's not just our baseball field. We're able to do a myriad of sports and different types of things. So that was fun to go out and take those trips, and then so we incorporated that. So they're taking what we did, they liked what we did, and they did their own due diligence too, and went out and looked. They're going to use the same surface, the same layout, pretty much. So that's nice to see that they're copying us, and that I think we did something right when we built our field. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, a little birdie told me, you have a heck of a board of directors.
we couldn't do it without. Right. So,
No.
and especially with us having to raise all of that money.
Yeah.
And so I want to thank you for being a part of our board of directors.
Absolutely.
You've been on there for, I think, 4 or 5 years now as a member of our board of directors. And, they're all committed to the same thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a board and everybody might not be on the same page. And as the executive director for me, it's easy for me that my entire board, we have 20 members.
Right.
Everybody's on the same page.
Absolutely.
And, we've had very productive meetings. Everybody's very productive. For us to raise that type of money, we have to get along, and we have to, which is really nice to see. And part of our goal and our mission, we just had a recent strategic planning session, is that we need to grow our focus, grow our area that we're getting our word out. And so that's why great coming over here on this side of the river. Sometimes it seems like there's a huge, what do you mean I got to go across the bridge, the
Exactly.
Baltimore, or that bridge. So we're excited to be here, and we're always looking for diverse, different people that have the same goal in mind to provide opportunities for play for kids with disabilities. So if there's anybody over on this side of the river that's interested in becoming on our board, we'd love to have it, and we'll be able to spread the word more about what we're doing for programming.
Now, from what I understand, we just launched a new website.
We did.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we, in our infant stages, we're just kind of limping along, but
Sure.
we've learned a lot of things, and so it was time to kind of rebrand ourselves. So we're Miracle League, SECT.org.
Okay.
And if people go to that, it's our brand new website that's been developed. We're excited to be able to roll that out and kind of rebrandish our name a little bit and get a little bit more professional, I guess would be the right way to do it. I mean, we were getting the information out, but now we kind of need to get to that next step. And we have a great social media marketing person. Her name is Jessica Stearns.
Yeah.
And if people can't find that information on our website, I encourage people to go to our Facebook page. It's tremendous. And she's constantly updating with posts. And so if you type in Miracle League Southeastern Connecticut into the search bar, our Facebook page will come up. And we have a lot of photos, a lot of announcements on our programs and all that kind of stuff. So we're excited about that as well. So talking about the board, everybody has a little different part.
Yep, absolutely.
We have a big bash coming up, or we call it
I was
our
going to say,
bash.
let's talk about the bash.
Yeah, so it's at the Mohegan Sun Casino.
Yep.
April 2nd, it's our major fundraiser.
Yeah.
And our treasurer of our board of directors is Pandy Wohler.
Yes.
And Pandy's also the chairperson for this.
That's right.
For this event. This is our 4th one.
Okay.
The previous 3 have been so successful. It's almost mind blowing how much were able to raise over $100,000 last year at our gala, or we call it a bash, because we want people to come and have fun and to play. And our guest speakers in the past have been Bobby Valentine from the Mets, and then we had John Flaherty. We had Steve Empt last year, who was a Paralympian.
That's right.
And then this year it is Ed Randall from Talking Baseball on WFAN and the Major League Baseball Network. So we're excited to have him come as our keynote speaker. And then we do a live auction and a silent auction. And we want people to come have fun. So it's not a stuffy gala where you got to get all dressed up. We're all about play.
Yeah.
So we want people to come have fun and then play. So we have golf simulators. We have Pop-A-Shot basketball games, we have skee ball, we have cornhole, we have all this. So on top of open bar and on top of food and on top of our guest speaker and our program and stuff, we want people to come and have fun and come away from that learning about us and what we do for kids with disabilities, and also have fun at it, right?
Absolutely.
So it's $150 per ticket. They can find out information for tickets either on our website or on our Facebook page. And we think it's one of the kind of more fun. The Mohegan Sun is great to us.
Oh yeah.
They're one of our biggest supporters as well, and for us to be able to do it there and at the Uncas Ballroom, they've been a great host and a great supporter of our activities and events and stuff. So that's one of our major fundraisers.
Okay, you know what else we forgot to mention about the bash? Who's the MC?
Oh, the MC's Kevin Nathan.
It's not me.
No, not Pete Mezzetti. As much as we'd like to have Pete be our MC, our MC is Kevin Nathan from Channel 30, and he's been a huge supporter of us too. And we had it during the COVID year. He couldn't be it, but the previous 2 years, he was our MC, and I was the MC last year. And I'm glad those duties are off of me now. And Kevin does a great job of helping us promote the event, and just his professionalism and enthusiasm in the room is really something that's is really great. So I'm glad you reminded me that.
I've never met Kevin.
Yeah, great guy.
Is he?
And a great supporter of the Miracle League. So
nice.
Couldn't ask for a better lineup for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of events, we've got one more we've got to mention, because if we don't, we're both going to be in trouble.
Yes. So another one of our board members is Jim Grogan.
Yes.
And so Jim's a great board member. He chairs our Oyster Festival.
Yes.
So a couple of years ago, we were always looking for unique ideas on what to do for fundraising. And Julie Wilson at the time was was in charge of our fundraising committee, and she could come up with the Nyack Bay Oyster Festival.
Right.
So we didn't know how it would go. It's become not only a huge fundraiser for us.
Yep.
It's also become a community event.
Oh yeah.
That is really tied to the Miracle League, and it gives us another chance to promote the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut and what we do. We, over the last 4 years, we brought in thousands of people, and so what happens is we have food vendors come. Yep. And they're mostly oyster farms, local area oyster farms. And Steve Turner from Lillian's Cafe in Nyack.
Yes.
He helps us sponsor all of those vendors. And then we have some breweries come, and we have other types of food trucks, and we have bands, and it's a fun event. Yeah. We're able to, we've been lucky. Weather's been really good for us. It is Saturday, September 24th. I believe that's a Saturday. It's either the 24th or the 23rd. Okay. And it'll be our fourth one. Right. And just another way for us to raise money, but also when we do a fundraiser, I think it's more important that, of course, our goal is to fundraise, but I think more importantly is to promote what we do and what we're about. And so that's what we're about, kind of. So cool. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back.
Tell each other stories.
By the way,
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
look.
My kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Dave Putnam from the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut. Dave, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no
it's
problem.
Great to be back.
Thanks. So, Dave, let's pick up this segment about if people want to get involved with the Miracle League. How can they?
So, very simple. Send me an email or go to visit our website, and there's a way to donate,
Yep.
which is always great, and then also to volunteer. So there's a volunteer button on our website. People can go and fill out. But my email address is dpmlsect@gmail.com. So DP, which Dave Putnam, Miracle League,
Southeastern
Connecticut, @gmail.com. And we love to broaden our reach, and so I'm glad you give us the opportunity to come.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Here, and hopefully some people see us and see what the Miracle League is about, and say, it's something I think I might want to get behind or learn more information about. They can, email me or go to the website and do that. We count so heavily on our volunteers. Tonight it's Monday here. I know you go. This show is on Tuesday, but Monday night right now we have our basketball program.
That's right.
And that's growing now because we talked about the field in the other episode. We do so much more programming wise than just on the field. So we do basketball in the wintertime. And we have 54 kids enrolled in our basketball program from ages 4 through adult.
Oh, wow.
We break them up into age groups, and I have probably 30 volunteers that come and be one-on-one mentors with some of the kids, or just be a shadow volunteer, and it really helps us be able to offer a quality program where the kids are safe, kids are engaged, and so all of our programs we look to reach out for volunteers, and so that's great. And then we talked about other programming that we do. So we do basketball, and then we do dance. So the Eastern Connecticut Ballet and the Studio 22 Dance Center of East Lyme have partnered with us that we're able to offer dance programs for kids.
Oh, cool.
And then Three Bells Marina does a kayaking program for us. And then the Nyack Bay Yacht Club, we call it Take a Kid Sailing Day, where these kids come and regardless of what their disability is, we introduce them to sailing, and they get to go out on a sailboat with some of the captains from Nyack Bay Yacht Club. And it's been a really successful program, and all of our programs we try to keep the costs as low as possible, just to cover our costs so that kids can participate in. This one particular sailing program, we don't charge anything. It's free. The Nyack Bay Yacht Club opens up their club on a Saturday morning for us to come in, and to see the smiles on these kids' faces when they get on a pretty large sailboat is really, it's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, how did you guys handle the pandemic? Did you guys do okay?
Yeah, we did all right. Everybody was. That 1 year was just kind of a gap year, I guess. I don't know how else to call it. But we did do some program. The field opened in September of 2020.
Right.
And so after that, we did some small programs, and we took all the precautions and all the if you wanted to wear a mask, you could, and all that other stuff. But it was still a challenge, and like everybody went. It was a challenging time for everybody, and it was challenging for us too. And it was challenging for us to try to raise money, and we didn't want to hit some of our businesses again because they were hurting, and some of our other sponsors were really hurting. So we probably put our fundraising back a year. We didn't have a bash. We didn't have our major fundraiser. So it impacted. It's just like everybody else, right? And so I think we got through it, and now we're doing great. We've had, with our programming, we've had over 500 kids have participated in our activities.
Oh, wow! And
from 41 different communities. And so that's why I think it's important for us to broaden our reach. And so really we kind of target all the way from Guilford, Brantford. We had our first athlete come from Westerly, Rhode Island the other day, so that was great. He's in our basketball program. As far north as we can go, and just, the whole of Southeastern Connecticut. And we don't put any restrictions on area or the disability. type. We'll try to make an accommodation for whatever the disability is, and we'll try to make it work as best as we can. So we're very inclusive. We're non-competitive. We just want kids to come and play.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you guys seem like a very worthwhile organization and very community-minded.
Well, so we want to give back. Our community has been tremendous. And when I say our community, I want to say all of Southeastern Connecticut.
Yeah.
But in particular, because I was in East Lyme as the Park and Rec Director in the fields in East Lyme,
Yeah.
the East Lyme businesses have been unbelievable to us, from Flanders Donut and Bake Shop to, and I don't want to leave anybody out, to Boats Incorporated,
Right.
to the Nyack Main Street Foundation, to Nyack Rotary. So the Nyack Rotary Club is our second largest donor.
Really?
To the Miracle League in excess of $50,000 from the Nyack Rotary Club. So, they've gotten behind our activities, and they see the joy, and it's nice that we're able to put that money to use. And sometimes, I think as a nonprofit organization, if you're going to give the money to us, you're going to want to see some results from that, right? So, and that's why we wanted to, as soon as we had the money for the field, we wanted to build the field. So we'd raised close to $600,000 at the time.
Yeah.
The field was $550,000. So we put that in, we built it, a little grand opening, and then now we have the monies raised to do our restroom, concession, storage building.
Okay.
And then we're going to continue to fundraise. And the next phase will be that playscape playground area. And we're looking to raise, another $250,000 if we can to get that built. And again, our board's committed to not using taxpayer money. So
Exactly.
I think a lot of the people, especially some of the individual donors, really respect that.
Right.
And say, what, this is great. They're not, not getting paid through they're not getting money through the taxes that I pay.
Exactly.
But I feel strongly enough about this organization that I'm going to donate, either to them with either monetarily or through volunteer hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and both are just as important.
And you guys are always looking for volunteers to work your events or to come help out.
I mentioned, like we have basketball going on tonight.
Yeah.
We have 54 kids and probably 30 volunteers. Which is great.
Wow.
And I'm glad I'm here with you, but I'm kind of bumming that I'm missing the basketball program because I'm undefeated as a coach in that. To see I come home with a huge smile on my face every week because these kids just come and play, right? We have, it's very unstructured. Right? It's structured, but it's more like the kids can come and just have fun and hang out with their peers, and then also, interact with a volunteer or a mentor that they develop a special bond with.
Right.
And one of our biggest programs is the Ike and Bike program.
Yes.
And we need 2 volunteers for each rider for a week-long camp. And so that is probably our most volunteer-dependent program. We could not do it without volunteers because these kids and sometimes adults run with the kids while they're riding their bikes. And as the week goes along, they become independent riders, which is really, really neat to see. But if we didn't have the volunteers to do that, we couldn't run that program. So
Now when is the I Can Bike program?
I Can Bike program is in August. It goes August 7th through the 11th.
Okay.
It's at East Lyme Middle School. We accept up to 30 riders.
Okay.
And they come for an hour and 15 minutes each day.
Okay, wow.
And so it's pretty intensive, and some of our volunteers are running upwards of 10, I don't want to scare anybody off, but, 10, 11 miles in a day, depending if their rider, how proficient their rider becomes.
Right.
But, we get a lot of fall athletes that come, and that's part of their conditioning program is to come and, be a rider. And I have a couple volunteers that stay for each session. I go, you guys crazy, this is nuts. But they love it. They see the joy that these kids are having. And they experience that same joy the volunteers do of helping these kids out. It's really
now, as far as all the different programs that you guys have to offer, I'm sure you show up at every program.
Try to.
You try to.
But you know what? That's where the board comes in.
Right.
Because we have board members that are so active with us that I don't have to.
Right.
Like tonight, like I said, I mentioned I'd love to be at basketball, but Gina Morris, our president,
Yes.
is covering for me. And my daughter volunteers. So
does
she's
she?
there tonight with her husband, and so that's great. They have a great time doing it, and they love to give back as well. So it's just.
I know Jim Grogan usually does it.
Jim Grogan does it,
Jim.
and Jim Capides has done. Kathy Sanford does baseball, and everybody. Like I said, it's amazing that we have a board of directors of 20 members.
Yeah.
All on the same goal, all giving back to the community, and that's something I don't think you see a lot. And it kind of scared me a little bit when they said we want to go 20, 25 members. That's a lot of members. Usually you want 10 or 11 very active, but it's great to have this many people that are active and really care about our organization. So
now, if people want more information on the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut, where can they go?
Yes, our new website, Miracle League, SECT.org. They can go to that, or they can go to our Facebook page, Miracle League Southeastern Connecticut, or they can call me. I'll even give out my cell phone.
Oh my goodness.
860-550-4163. You can call me, text me, or you can email me at, I think we gave it earlier, but I can give it again, but it's dpmlsect@gmail.com.
Yeah, Gmail. You're like, okay.
Getting org, so I'll mix
exactly.
up there. Yeah. So we're excited. We're excited about what we do, and I'm always glad to come and be able
absolutely.
to tell people what we're doing. Hopefully, even if we touch one person out here.
Absolutely. Dave Putnam from the Miracle League. Thanks for some time. We'll see you again soon.
Pete, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
On behalf of Dave Putnam, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks. Good night, and we'll see you next time.